Good morning, this is Sam Gurung from B22 offices bringing you today's market report. As always, let me start by looking at equities. Equities opened down in Europe this morning. They were down yesterday as well, pairing its gains for this week. Now, to give you an idea, first 3 days of this week, equities were up. This was mainly on back of optimism in China that the situation will be contained by the central bank. We also saw potential QE or the probability of potential QE happening in Japan, and also a few sort of monetary easing and fiscal policy easing in Japan in regards to tax cuts, which obviously propelled equities higher at the start of the week. However, yesterday and today they're down. The reason being is basically data coming out of in the US. We had a couple of labor data out in the US yesterday, which pointed towards positivity. And on back of that, the probability of Fed hiking interest rate next week went up slightly. So with obviously monetary policy tightening in the world's largest economy, impacted equities down yesterday and this morning. Now, touching on the sort of the Fed potential interest rate increase, currently 38 out of 78 economists surveyed by Bloomberg reckon that interest rates will go up next week. That's just under 50%. However, when you look at the Fed's fund futures sort of contracts, it only shows 28% probability that will go up. There is obviously a bit of a division there, but nonetheless, markets are bracing themselves for the decision next week. Aside from that, we also had the Bank of England interest rate decision yesterday, followed by the monetary policy statement. They kept interest rate unchanged, and the voting was as expected as well, which is 8-1. 8 voted in favor of no change, only 1 in favor of a hike. Tone coming out from Carney yesterday was that regardless of the uncertainties we're seeing in China and the potential slowdown, they will still stick with their aim of gradual interest rate increase. So the consensus at the moment is that interest rate will go up early next year in the UK. So back with that, pound was up. It was trading near 2-week high against the dollar, whereas FTSE 100 actually went down, losing around 1.2%. Aside from that, we've got sort of a few data in the US coming out today. Again, labor-related data and also consumer sentiment data, which could impact the US dollar. But apart from that, it's fairly sort of quiet in terms of economic data today. That's it. Thank you for listening in. I'll see you again next week. Have a good weekend.